This is a F100 mid-project update that is long overdue. I've been kind of ripping through some stuff, and I've been doing a lot of it by myself, which is kind of expected, but I've been very terrible at getting the camera out and doing anything to record. So I'm going to give a quick little once-over, and then I'll cut in some clips of the work that's been done so far. The first couple of days that I had the truck in the shop, I got the front clip off, got the core support out, got all of the front body panels out, so that I can make room for the motor and transmission to come out. The truck came with an inline 6.240 and a 3-on-the-tree manual. As you can probably see in the foreground, that's not the plan long term. This 302 is. Also a Crown Vic independent front suspension swap, which is a really popular swap with these trucks. So that is in the works. That is up next, actually. I'm going to cut the front suspension out. I will get some film of that so that you can see that. There's a bunch of videos posted on the internet of guys doing that, but I think it'll be fun to document that for this project's purpose. Some other stuff I've done, obviously the bed is gone. It is over there. The rear axle is a 4 9-inch I took out and moved the spring purchase from the top to the bottom. Sandblasted and painted this with Pour 15 frame paint. That's not a sponsor. I wish they would have. It would have been a lot less expensive. Actually, I can't really claim that. I got the Pour 15 left over from my dad's Chevelle project. So thanks, Dad. Anyway, so this is in, so that lowered it down. It brought it down about 5.5 inches in the back. The rear bumper will sit about 15 inches off the ground. Not so low that it's ridiculous, but just low enough to be mean. So that has been done. The next real step with the chassis of the truck is to get the front end up on jack stands to start cutting out the front suspension, the twin I-beam suspension. What's been done with the motor so far is it was a HO 5-liter. It was an EFI. I have taken all the EFI stuff off, put on a JEGS 4-barrel carbureted dual plane intake and an HEI distributor, so that it is carbureted, easy to tune, no-brainer. It has an automatic overdrive transmission that came with it that does not have a controller. It's just the throttle pressure kick down. So that requires just a bit of linkage, but no controller or computer, which is part of the process here. Part of the goal here is to have things be as true to the era while making some modern updates as possible. I will get some footage of this that I'll splice in, let you see what we've done so far. It's going to probably jump back and forth in time a little bit because the clips are kind of all over the place. I promise I'm still learning how to do this to document a project a little more clearly, but I'm going to do better from here on out. Anyway, that's it for now. Thanks again.
Okay, got the hood off. Everybody's seen that done. Doesn't have to be done in front of the camera, does it? Didn't think so. Projects can be frustrating. It's been about 2.5 hours ripping on the front end of this truck trying to get things out. And right now I've got one stuck bolt that's kind of kicking my butt. And it reminds me that even though a project is supposed to be fun, sometimes they get frustrating and you gotta stop for a minute think it through. Remember why you're doing it in the first place, so that you don't just end up pissed. I don't know if that's just shop rambling or what, but that's where I'm at. Here's a Ford 9-inch rear axle. After I took it out and painted it all up real nice. Yes, there are some cut brake lines. I'm going to be replacing those. They were all really badly bent or cracked, as well as the rubber ones were really dry rotted. As you can see, somebody decided that the parking brake didn't need to exist anymore at one point also, so we're going to go ahead and replace that. I guess you kind of need those, although Peg would say you don't need brakes. So these are the new shackles and U-bolts I put in. These are the spring perches I welded on. They originally were up here. I cut those off and decided to get new ones at the local speed shop and put those on. I will be sandblasting, metal etching, and painting the frame to match. This isn't going to be a shiny, rusty restore project, but I do want the things that count, like the frame, to last. I don't want this to be a project that 10 years from now I wish I would have done something different, so that I have to do difficult work to fix something. Body panels are one thing, or paint, but the frame itself is something I don't want to goof up. And carnage. No, not really. Actually, this came out really smoothly, really easily. The inline 6 is long gone. This stuff is getting ready to come out. So all of these parts, spring, towers, buckets, whatever you want to call it, cross member is going to come out. Steering box, because that is manual, non-power steering, that's all coming out. Probably going to have to move that cross member as well as the transmission cross member that's back there to make room for things. So first things first, going to get it up on jack stands, going to get a piece of tubing welded in here to hold the frame still, so when I start cutting out the cross member sections that it doesn't get wobbly. It's a long way from any side to side bracing when we're doing that, but cut this cross member out, take out all of the twin I-beam suspension pieces, get those old drum brakes out and gone, and make room for the new stuff. Just so you can see a little bit, I'm really impressed and really pleased with the lack of rust for a Midwestern truck. It's kind of hard to see in there, I guess, but these cab mounts are generally just rotted beyond recognition in these 67 to 72 trucks, and this one has almost no rust, no cowl rust, no like cab front corner rust, and behind all of this is just surface and will, basically scrape off with your fingernail if you tried. The door skins are good, the rocker panels are good, there's no rust there. The two spots where there is some rust is right here on the cab corner on the passenger side. It goes all the way through, but I have those all ready to replace, and there is very little rust in a similar spot over there on the driver's side. The fenders were pretty rusty, so I'm going to go ahead and replace those. In fact, I already have those. I will post in a comment the part numbers off those. I got them actually off of Amazon if anybody's super interested. Otherwise, I'm sure you can find them yourselves. Just use your Google Foo and you'll find it. Alright. Here's the Crown Vic independent front suspension laying on the floor of the shop, waiting to get put in. Here is the 302 with the jegs intake. I'll go ahead and put the part number in the description, and an eBay, Amazon, HEI distributor, as well as a Dorman, probably one of the few pieces of chrome that'll actually end up on this truck, water neck. it is ready to be painted. It has been cleaned up, degreased, put back together, ready to roll, really. Just waiting on all of the chassis work to be done and finished.